I gazed at the typewriter sitting there like some rusty ghost. So it wasn't ink that this thing rang on, but love. No wonder it wouldn't work for me. The ma'am had made sure any act of love was punished in the crooked house. Yet there was something about Alice's journal that I couldn't shake. She'd founded the order back in 1867. That was common knowledge for employees. So was the fact that she vanished in 1902, suspected to have taken her own life. And yet Alice's story felt strangely familiar asterisk. Asterisk like it wasn't something I'd read, but something I'd forgotten. The voice, the rhythm, the way her words curled like barbed wire around childhood wounds. I looked again at the name of her monster. Mr. Neither. The hair. The Hatter. A thing written twice, and broken both times. How had the order never mentioned him? He wasn't just another thing going bump in the night. He was the origin of this whole nightmare. The cracked foundation. Owens had mentioned him over the PA, hadn't she? Only she'd called him by a different title. The first draft. I gnawed at my lip, pieces coming together. Whatever Mr. Neither did to Alice, whatever she did to him, this is where it all began. The conscripts, the vaults, the order of Alice itself. Mr. Neither didn't just start the story. He was the story. And right now, I was standing in his footnotes. The only question now was, where did he go? Alice had banished him from her story. Did it kill him? Unmake him? Or was he still out there, grieving a girl who left him behind? Or had he? Click. The light overhead hissed. Burst. Darkness swallowed the chamber like floodwater. A high, brittle giggle spilled from the walls. Too bright, too childlike starred at asterisk. My chest seized. My wrist beeped. Midnight. Shit. Time's up. The typewriter word. The journal page suddenly ripped away, like the machine was devouring it. Like it was trying to cover its tracks. Shit. Emergency lighting stuttered to life. Sickly. Pale. Red. The room bled shadows. Long. Wet. And twitching. And then, Mr. Reyes. The voice was everywhere. It leaked out from the walls. The ceiling. It crawled out of my own mind. My name. It knew my name. Something moved. A silhouette spilled across the floor like a spider learning to walk. The limbs too long. The ears drooping like funeral drapes. And a grin, wide and crooked, led the way. It rose. Towering. Splinter-limbed. Dressed in Victorian black. Buttoned to the throat like a coffin lid. It was him. Alice's monster. He swayed like a scarecrow hung too long in the wind. His grin twitched upward. Too high. Too hungry. Like a shattered portrait trying to remember how to smile. And he looked like the ma'am's painting. The one I'd touched in my memory. The one that bled. I scrambled back. Slipped. He caught me. Snatched me up by the collar. And I dangled like a doll in a child's grip waiting for the worst. But he didn't attack. Didn't even growl. Just settled me into the chair with strange care, like a child putting down a favorite toy. The creature crouched at the far end of the steel table, motionless, almost reverent. Its slouching top hat veiled its face in darkness, but I saw enough. Tufts of fur were missing from its scalp, ears limp and twitching at its sides. "I know you," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "You're Mr. Neither." It gave a short bow. Pleased to meet you." Its voice didn't sound like the snarling beast from the journal. Instead, it was gentle, stammering. More hair, less Hatter. It reached into its coat pocket, arm vanishing deep past the elbow as ancient trinkets tumbled out. Buttons, keys, scraps of burned paper. Too many things for any one coat to hold. I screwed up my face, dumbstruck. Just a moment ago, I was certain I was about to be torn to shreds. "What are you looking for?" I asked. It frowned, eyes hidden behind the brim of its hat. "A teacup," it murmured, like that should have been obvious. "What else?" With a delighted gasp, it withdrew a cracked piece of china and set it on the table between us like an offering. The porcelain was yellowed, rimmed with filth. "Right?" I said slowly, hating the way my voice shook. "Can I ask what you're doing here?" It smiled, thin, off-kilter. The tea typewriter woke me up, of course. My eyes swiveled to the rusted behemoth atop the table. I blinked. "It woke you up?" A frantic nod. "Oh yes. It likes you, I think. It hasn't hummed like that since Ollie." Mr. Neither suddenly clamped a hand to his mouth, wincing as if he'd nearly cursed. "Oh no. Oh no, no, no." Then its expression stuttered, glitched. A tremor ran through its frame. Something was wrong. It yanked down on its top hat, hiding its button eyes. Light flared behind the veil of the fabric, like twin searchlights. It started to wheeze. Choke. That whimsical, stammering cadence began to twist, deforming into something dry and mechanical. It gripped the brim of its hat, yanking it lower over its face. No, it rasped. We agreed. I was to speak to him. UP promised. Its body lurched. Bones cracked like gunshots. The spine surged beneath its suit, bulging like a worm beneath silk. Fabric split at the seams. The frame beneath it grew taller, thicker, more wrong. The smile stayed, but it wasn't his anymore. You already talked to him, snarled a voice no longer touched by stutter or warmth. My turn. I couldn't move. My heart pounded like it was trying to escape my chest. I recognized this. The split. The sickness. This was what Alice had seen. The hair was gone. Now just the hatter remained. It rose above me in a smooth, nightmarish glide, moonlight eyes burning through the skin of its hat. Its teeth were no longer bucked. They were pointed now. Arrowheads. Fangs. The drooping ears shot upward, rigid as knives. Hello, it said softly. Care for a cup of tea? It set the teacup in front of me with eerie precision. I stared down into it, hands trembling, not understanding. There wasn't anything inside of it. I looked up at the hatter, his rake-like form craning above. It's empty, I croaked. Oh, look again. It grabbed a fistful of my hair and slammed my head into the table. Once, twice, again. The world became spinning metal and ringing noise. Something hot trickled down my face. Blood. Tears. The hatter lifted the cup and held it beneath my eye, collecting every drop. Then it dropped it back onto the table with a hollow clack. I blinked blearily at the mix of red and salt, my stomach twisting. What is this? The smile didn't change. It didn't need to. Tea, it said, to bring you down the rabbit hole. I retched. It wanted me to drink my own blood, my own tears. Hurry up and drink. He hissed, voice dropping to a growl. Unless you'd like some more. My fingers closed around the chipped porcelain, hands shaking. I brought it to my lips. What other choice did I have?